You know the gut punch of a lost package. That endless wait, the phone calls where no one helps. We just accept it. But in Japan, this problem just vanishes. They turn package delivery into something so smooth, so quiet, you barely notice it. No lost boxes, no phone calls, no stress. They figured out how to make parcels almost invisible. This changes everything you think you know about getting your stuff. And that frustration isn't just in your head. It's a massive, widespread problem. In parts of Europe, for example, failure rates can hit around 4%. That means for every 100 packages sent, 4 of them just get lost or show up super late. Think about what that really means. It's millions of people stuck on hold with customer service, getting more and more angry. And when they finally get through, the best they get is a bored voice telling them to file a complaint, even when it's clearly the company's fault. Finding your package just isn't their priority. But in Japan, that entire nightmare pretty much doesn't exist. We're not exaggerating. People who have lived there for 10 years say they've never had a package go missing. One person said the only delay they ever had was 10 minutes, and the driver actually called them to apologize before he even showed up. So how did they do it? It's not magic. It's a powerful mix of a deep cultural respect for service and some surprisingly simple tech. They've built a system so good, you don't even have to think about it. It all comes down to one core idea, a deep, cultural obsession with getting things right. This isn't something written in a corporate training manual. It's a shared expectation that runs through the entire country. In Japan, doing a job with precision and taking responsibility for your work isn't just a goal. It's the absolute baseline. For delivery services like the famous Yamato, Sagawa, or even the National Japan Post, this mindset is everything. It creates a system built on an incredible level of trust. People don't just hope their package will arrive, they simply know it will. Let me give you a perfect example of what this looks like in the real world. One person living in Japan shared a story where their delivery driver was running late. But we're not talking an hour late, or even 30 minutes late. The driver was going to be 10 minutes behind schedule. And what happened? The driver actually called them personally just to apologize for the tiny delay. Think about that for a second. In most places, a 10-minute delay wouldn't even register. You'd be lucky to get a vague out for delivery notification. But in Japan, that 10-minute window is a promise that was broken, and it required a personal apology. That's the level of meticulous care we're talking about. It's a totally different world. This is why the very concept of a lost package seems almost foreign there. When Westerners in Japan talk about it, they sound almost confused. One resident said that in over a decade, they've never even heard of lost goods. It just doesn't happen. The system is so rock solid that the possibility of your package just vanishing into thin air doesn't cross your mind. Now, is it literally 100% perfect? Not quite. Occasionally, you'll hear about a minor hiccup, like Japan Post giving out some slightly wrong information or a rare issue with a specific driver. But these stories are the exception that proves the rule. They're so uncommon that when they do happen, it's actually surprising. For most people, for years on end, every single item just shows up exactly when it's supposed to. This incredible reliability isn't an accident. It's the direct result of a culture that values service and responsibility. But that cultural foundation is only half of the story. To make it all work at a massive scale, they pair that mindset with some surprisingly simple, but incredibly clever technology. And that's where things get really interesting. So, how do you take that cultural dedication and scale it up to handle hundreds of millions of packages a year without anything falling through the cracks? You build a system that's just as obsessed with detail as the people running it. This isn't about one magical piece of software. It's about a deeply integrated network where technology and people work in perfect sync. They've engineered the stress right out of the equation. It all starts with information. From the second a package enters the system, it's tracked with an almost ridiculous level of precision. Every single step is scanned, logged, and updated in real time. It's not just a vague in-transit status. The system knows exactly where that box is, where it's going next, and precisely when it's supposed to be there. Think back to that driver who called to apologize for a 10-minute delay. How did he know he was running 10 minutes late? The system told him. His route was so optimized, his schedule so fine-tuned, that a tiny deviation of 600 seconds was enough to trigger an alert. That's not just good service, that's data-driven perfection. This laser focus on logistics solves what's known as the last mile problem, that final, chaotic step of getting the package from the local depot to your actual front door. This is where things go wrong in most countries. But in Japan, delivery routes are planned with incredible efficiency, likely using AI to adapt to traffic and other delays on the fly. Drivers aren't just winging it. They're following a hyper-optimized plan that tells them the fastest way to get every single package delivered on time. They even have tools that allow for things that sound impossible elsewhere, like guaranteed same-day delivery between major cities hundreds of miles apart, like Fukuoka and Tokyo. Ultimately, the technology gives the workers the tools they need to be superstars. The system provides the flawless data, the perfect route, and the exact schedule. Then, the human element, that cultural drive for excellence, takes over. The computer flags the 10-minute delay, but it's the driver who feels the personal responsibility to pick up the phone and apologize. That's the secret sauce. It's not just about high-tech sorting machines and GPS. It's about using that technology to empower a workforce that already refuses to fail. It's a perfect loop of human dedication and technological precision. So what does that perfect loop of technology and people actually feel like for the person waiting for a package? In a word, nothing. And that's the entire point. In most of the world, delivery is a source of constant, low-grade stress. You get that vague out for delivery notification, and suddenly your whole day is held hostage. You're waiting for a doorbell that might ring sometime between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Is now a good time to take a shower? Should you risk running to the store? It's a frustrating guessing game we all just put up with. Japan just decided not to play. Their entire system, used by giants like Yamato Transport, Sagawa, and Japan Post, is built around one simple, radical idea. Your time is valuable. So here's what they do differently. First, you are in complete control. When you order something, you get to choose the exact time slot you want it delivered. I'm not talking about some huge, all-day window. We're talking about specific 2-hour blocks. Morning, afternoon, evening, you pick what works for you. And for years, they've been hitting these targets with rock-solid consistency. Second, the reliability is on another level. People who've lived in Japan for a decade say they've literally never had a package go missing. Think about that for a second. Not once in 10 years. One person said they'd never even heard of lost goods being a real problem. It's just not a thing. The system is so tight that packages simply don't fall through the cracks. And third, it's all designed to be invisible. The whole goal is to make the entire process disappear from your mind. When was the last time a delivery service actually made your life easier? In Japan, you don't have to constantly refresh a tracking number. You don't have to rearrange your schedule. You don't have to worry about a package being left on your porch all day or getting a "sorry we missed you" slip for a driver you never even saw. You just pick a time, and like clockwork, a polite driver shows up with your package. It erases an entire category of modern anxiety.